So we will face United. They have come straight off the back of a 4-1 win against Real Betis, but we know their last league appearance was a bit worse than that. A 7-0 hounding at Liverpool. Do you think they've got a point to prove there, Martin? Are they gonna absolutely do us?
No, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. They're unbeaten in 20 games at Old Trafford at this moment in time. That's going to come to an end at some stage. Whether we can do that the weekend, I don't know. 89% win ratio. Bruno Fernandes is captain, so we could do without him playing at the weekend. But it's a tough place to go, isn't it? It's we played well there last year. I think we was in that purple patch that we had. And we were decent there, but we'll win this in 14 against Man United in all competitions, drawn 7, lost 7. That's since that 1-0 when at Old Trafford in 2016 that we spoke about before we come on the show. It will be a tough place to go, mate. We know what Old Trafford's like. But, if you get amongst them, the fans turn on them quite quickly, I noticed. There's something that you would say about them. I don't think it's ever a good time to play United, but I don't necessarily massively fear them. We've played really well against Chelsea twice this year, and Chelsea have got a really, really good squad of players. So I don't think we should go there in fear. There's nothing to lose. I quite like that. We go there with minimal amount of pressure. It's a free hit for me, depending on how results go around us tomorrow, really, because that's obviously every weekend we're looking around at what everyone else is doing. It always plays upon your mind about how everyone else is going to finish up. But by the time we play Sunday, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will be, and it is worth noting what's going on around, because there are some tough fixtures for those around us, not just us. I mean, the likes of Bournemouth going up to Liverpool, so it's
a massive game. It's down here as well. I think that Liverpool can't go there. I think they'll be in for a hiding. Big one with Everton Brentford is a massive game. Everton really and truly has not really got them going just yet. Leeds Brighton, I think Brighton look the informed side in the league, don't they? They look top draw at the moment. Leicester got sucked in it. They host Chelsea, so and that, there's big games everywhere. And Forest have got to go to Spurs, and they're in free fall at the moment. They're not getting
Leicester
wins,
are well in it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Palace
City
as well.
West Ham are playing Villa. And they I mean, if West Ham lose against Villa, could drag them straight back in again. It's tough.
Yeah, I think it's
unrelenting.
Tight. Yeah, it's really tight, mate. It's a massive weekend. Massive week. Every weekend's big, but this weekend everyone around has got hard fixtures. So, look, let's not fear United. I don't fear them at all.
No. I like the 50% record you said. I know it's seven losses, 7 draws, but a point at Old Trafford is as good as anything right now. If we can get anything from that game, it would be absolutely unbelievable. I think again, it's not out of the realms of possibility. We've done it before. We can do it again. Just play without fear, and like you say, they do get on the players' backs. Do you? I mean, how good would it be, by the way, to see Ward-Prowse level that record in Old Trafford?
I was going to touch upon that, Josh. I have a feeling he'd do it. I think it's written, isn't it? Really, to go to United.
It's almost too perfect.
He scored a good few free kicks there. I'd love to see him do it. I want to see him beat that record in the Southampton shirt, because if we do go down, there's no doubt he'll move on. But I'd love to see him beat the record. To equal it in the Southampton shirt would be incredible. To beat it, which I think he will. I think he will do it. I think there's enough games for him to do it. In a Southampton jersey, it would be, if it is a a relegation at the end of the season, it would be a slight nice thing to touch upon and see. Team selections interest me, Josh. How we set up and who comes in at the weekend, and whether he stays with the same side. I don't think he will. Do you?
I was actually just going to ask you the same question, which is quite funny. I do, yeah, possibly. I think he might. He doesn't like to change a winning formula. I think the one we will see is probably Charlie, if anybody, because of the injury. He said if he doesn't play United, he'll definitely be there at Brentford on Wednesday. So I think that could be the only change. If I do see Elyounoussi starting in that place, I'd be gutted. I would if I was Ruben Sellers, I think the changes I would make, and I know I'm probably going to get some pelters for it, I would take Bednarek out.
Definitely.
I'd take Bednarek out, and I'm not going to say I've seen a couple of people saying, "Oh, it's the way he went and patted Gavin on the back, that's captain material." I'm like, no, it's not. It's cheerleader material. Stick him on the sideline, let him do his support and that. I just don't. I think with it's tough. He probably will start with Jan because he's tall and he's going to have to contest with the likes of Wout Weghorst, no doubt, because Ten Hag loves to play with Weghorst. So he will be contending with him. You'll probably see. We'll probably see the fullbacks stay the same. Because again, we're going to want the quickest fullbacks we've got to be playing with the likes of Anthony and Rashford attacking them. I mean, even if they're not, if one of them's not playing, they've got people like Elanga on the bench who is again extremely pacey and skillful. So we're going to want experienced fullbacks. I would personally take Bednarek out and have the Sally Bella-Kotchap partnership. I think before the World Cup, those two sort of found out a lot about each other and they were forming that, and it seemed to be going really well. So I'd like to see that again. I don't think if Charlie's injured, then I'd change it, but I wouldn't change that midfield. I think everybody there worked brilliantly. If Charlie is injured, I would like to see a Stuart Armstrong come in, or possibly even Tool Paul and have Che Adams in that 10, because I think Che Adams is a much better support striker than he is as a 9. So yeah, I think those would be the only possible changes I would make. Would you make anything different to what I've just laid out?
Quite like to see Sally start centre half like you. I'd feel me with more confidence and seeing Benderek play there. I mirror what you say with that. Absolutely. I think Maitland-Niles had a decent game at the weekend. He's definitely pulled his socks up since Sellers has taken charge. There's no doubt about that. I thought he played well first half. He dealt with Maddison fairly well, really, because Maddison's a fantastic player for Leicester at the weekend. He's a good player. He's their key man. He done well with him, really. He worked hard. I thought he just looked a bit more at it than he did do, because his body language, I didn't like it under Jones. Obviously, you could tell he didn't want to play for the manager. There's no doubt about that. I think any of them did, but he certainly didn't. So yeah, like the fullback should probably stay as it is. I think the back four will be unlikely to change it. Theo, you would think would still start. Again, like you, I don't want to see Moy in that midfield. Absolutely do not. Like you say, by just dropping Adams in and you say maybe using Tall Paul is a good option. I think he'd be a good option for, especially not the highest, the tallest centre halves. United,
I was going to
Martinez.
say you got to bear in mind that Martinez is a short centre half.
Shaw's played there, but Shaw had a dreadful game at Liverpool. He was
awful.
The thing is, I've read some stuff today. That you wouldn't want to be in the trenches with that lot, would you? They're just Fernandez's attitude. Surprised he played last night. I did watch a bit of the game last night, but his attitude was like so bad. If one of our players played like that, you'd be ashamed.
Yeah, I think he's very Marmite. I think if you're a United fan, you probably love him, and if you're not, you can't stand the bloke. I'm not his biggest fan at all. I think he's a shithouse. I don't think he's a good captain, as in he doesn't set an example very well for people. Yeah, I just think he's a bit of a tosser, really. But that's just my opinion. I do quite like Eric Ten Hag. I don't want to, because I'm not a big fan of United and I never have been. But I do quite like Eric Ten Hag. Have you? What have you made of him?
Mate, I think he's done a good fan. You can't fault what he's done there. When he went in there, obviously that had that result against Brentford early on in the season, didn't they? And they went to Brentford and lost, and he's had to deal with the Ronaldo situation, which would have been really, really difficult at the football club, but he's dealt with it really well. Like I said to you during the show, I know Tom Heaton there, and he said he sets really, really high standards, and he won't mind me saying that. He does set high standards. You can see that, for people, you see with the Rashford situation, he was late, wasn't he? And he dropped him. He's not scared to make his mark with big players, but they got a style of play about them now. They got an identity that they probably didn't have. Something wasn't quite right at the weekend. We all have off days, but they proper collapsed. I was really surprised at how much they collapsed. Like, I like their midfield. I think they got a good midfield, United, to be fair. And obviously Rashford's been dynamite. He's been absolutely dynamite to watch. fantastic form. I think as an Englishman, it's great to see, isn't it? Just hopefully he's on the bench the weekend, or he gets a little amount of time, or he has a really off day.
Yeah, I think another player that's worth highlighting, and I think the whole league's been doing it because he's been. I mean, let's be fair, he's been outstanding for United. Probably the difference from the summer is Casemiro, and I think if he plays and we do start with someone like Elyounoussi, it's game over already. Can you really see a Moy Elyounoussi, outfoxing Casemiro? It's just not going to happen. The guy is one of the best in the world at what he does. He is really, really good. There's no doubt about it. His intelligence, his football intelligence is clear to see. Yeah, I don't think Charlie would have a much better chance than Moy. I'm not saying that Charlie will absolutely pocket him because Casemiro is brilliant. So he's going to be one that's tough. The interesting one is whoever plays in that deep one against our sixes. Whether because recently he has been dropping Weghorst deeper to play Rashford in behind. So it'd be interesting to see who sort of Lavia and Ward-Prowse have to deal with, because I'm sure it would be those two play. Yeah, what do you reckon about the likes of Moy playing against Casemiro?
Casemiro, good point to touch upon him, really. I think I saw a press conference early on in the season with the Liverpool assistant manager, and he spoke about winning football games. I think it might have been prior to a cup game. He came out and did the presser, and he spoke about midfield, having a strong central midfield and how important it was to dominate games in midfield, and it will win you games. And he's correct in what he said, because that is the difference, like you said, for United, by having somebody that can really get hold of the ball. Look, he's for now. I quite like the fact that sometimes it's not bought someone that's going to be good in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, a bit like what we've done. They've bought someone for now, what they need at this moment in time. Something that we maybe neglected in our transfer window. We could take a little bit of that approach maybe going forward. And they might not admit it, the board, Rasmus and the board, but buying somebody for now, for here and now, when you're in the Premier League, I think is really, really important. Everton obviously did it with Connor Cody, but sometimes you just need a bit of experience. Someone's been around the block a bit. He knows how to play the game. He's fantastic on the ball, isn't he? Doesn't really give it away. I think more against him, you don't fancy it at all. I wonder if he'd play an extra holding midfielder at the weekend, maybe against them, and just try and get hold of the midfield, because you need to get hold of the ball, and you can't give it away against them. And it'd be hard with those two in there, Fernandes and Casemiro. I think it will be tough. Like you said, we don't want more in there, whatever happens.
No. I mean, it's they haven't changed their approach United all season. Brentford sussed it and they absolutely took them apart. Their approach is very, very simple. They have Casemiro in the anchor. They have Fred and Bruno playing just off, and they have two inside forwards in either Anthony and Rashford, or whoever he plays in that position. And then obviously he's introduced this big man up front to give that sort of that target man feel. So everyone sort of worries about the big guy. He sort of floats deep now, Weghorst, and plays it off to the quicker guys, which it seems to be working. They're not particularly mercurial. They don't change all the time. He's very structured, Ten Hag, in what he does, and he doesn't. I think his philosophy is probably do what you know and do it well, and I quite like that. And like you said, it's so important to get someone for now, and I think they definitely did that. I mean, 70 million for a 32-year-old sounds crazy, but when you look at the performances he has been putting in, the risk as far is nowhere near outweighed the reward that they've got from it. So fair play to them. I think there's only one other thing to cover about United, and I'll ask you for a score prediction on that one, Martin.
I think it'd be really tight. Maybe a 2-1 defeat. If I'm honest, I think we'll lose. I don't think it'd be by a massive amount, but I think it'd probably be 2-1. Ward-Prowse to score a free kick, though, for me.
Yeah, I was gonna go 2-1 defeat, but I will change it and be slightly positive, and I will go for a scrappy 1-1, because I can't see us keeping a clean sheet. That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure.
Walked away with that.
To be having...
It'd be amazing. Walked away with
they would have
be
to
incredible.
Oh, it would be. Especially imagine a clean sheet in any capacity. If it was a draw or a win, unbelievable. Can't see it happening. But I'll take a draw. I would take a draw, and I will go for it, because why not?